Welcome to my channel to everyone who's new here, and of course to those of you who are back again, great to have you here. In this video we are going to talk about Render, TAO, Kaspa and ONDO. Things remain exciting, so make sure to watch until the end. So let's just start with Render. So we have said about Render that the area between $3.47 to $3.38 is going to be the target. There was a fair value gap. You can see it right here where I've put the circle. We just filled that fair value gap. That's why it's out of the chart. Before it was a big red box. I can take this one out because we went into that area. And this is what we have drew here, that we should sell off into the area. Don't get worried. I have two red trend lines here. Those are not candles. It's just based on the $3.90, which we have lost. This was our first target right here. This we can take out. The second target is still ongoing. It's the $3.26. But do we have to go there? No, we don't have to. We also have built up in the RSI a bullish divergence. So if you put it like this, then you can see we have higher lows in the RSI, lower lows in the chart, bullish divergence. Do I expect a bounce? Yes. And can I trade this bounce? Yes, I can. So once we break the $3.53 to the upside, then I would consider taking a small long position, a small one, into the upper part of this falling wedge. So $3, yeah, let's round it up to $3.70, because we are not going to break it out in one big candle. It's going to take some time. And afterwards, if we break the $3.70 to the upside, then I can increase my position size for the next push. The next push is going to be in the upper part of our old falling wedge. So we have here our falling wedge. If we break the $3.53 to the upside, then I can expect getting into $3.70. If we also break this $3.70 to the upside, then we had here in orange our old falling wedge. This is not going to work anymore because we broke it to the downside. But the trend line, which we have here up here, is kind of good in my opinion. And there we should see resistance in my opinion, $4.18. So here's a good trade possible with the chance that we can still sell off into $3.26. I'm not just going blindly into a trade, into a long trade right now just because we have a bullish divergence, just because we are oversold in the RSI. If I want to do a swing trade, then yes, this might be even the perfect moment for it, but always consider we can break the $3.26 to the downside as well. And we can continue dropping without breaking to the upside. And this is the sign where I would say if we break to the upside, then we should get some positive momentum. That's why I want to be in long position once the $3.53 breaks to the downside. Similar to Render is also TAO. We have said about TAO that we are taking profits. I took them a bit earlier at $3.70 to $372, but I continued taking profits lower than $3.64. Target was $330 US. We went there. We have also said we need to get a bullish chart pattern for TAO to actually get what we have drew afterwards. We have said we should drop into that box. From here, we expect a push. I don't see that push at the moment. We need to break certain levels to the upside. We need to form more bullish chart patterns, not just a very sharp rising wedge. But anyway, we have that pattern on the chart, $340 US. But my first long trade, I would take at $355 US if we break that price mark to the upside. So if we break it to the upside, the falling wedge, then I'm going to take the falling wedge as an orientation. So I'm taking the target of that falling wedge, which is currently the $398. But here we have resistance over us at $404 US. I can expect that once we break the $355 US to the upside, that we should get into the area $405 US for TAO. If we also break it to the upside, then I will make this one green. Then I think we have some good chances getting into $436 US. Afterwards, another position increasement into the area 496 US dollar for TAO. Also here, we are oversold since a while. And we have also said about TAO that TAO is not going to sell off as much as the other coins. I have the feeling that this was true, that TAO didn't sell off that much like other coins. We can look into other coins and measure it. So when did we say that? From $370. This was, I think, right here. So 30th July 2 a.m. at my time, we sold off 11%. It's a bit more than I expected. But still, we don't have any kind of bullish divergence at the moment. We can still develop it by getting something like this, where the RSI gets cool down like this, and then forms a higher low on the RSI, a lower low in the chart, and from here we start. If this is going to be the case, then I can't take a long trade because we don't break over 355 US dollar to the upside. Then we can look for other long entries. But you can also see it from your left side, right here. Here we also have support. So if we lose that support at 314 US dollar, then it's not going to look good for TAO. If we hold that price mark, then it's just going to be another higher low on the bigger chart. And the bigger chart is telling me we should see the 745 US dollar, even up to 830 US dollar if we break to the upside. So this is our plan. We wanted to get into another long position down here in that box where I've said here is a take profit area, and from here we should start off. Why that? Because we have chart patterns which are telling us we should see higher prices. We just got here a small correction, and afterwards I want to see breaking it to the upside. Otherwise, this can also just be a double top pattern, and if we sell off, then we should see a lower low than this one, and then we would have invalidated our bullish scenario, and then we are more bearish. We can just measure it, what it would happen if we break this to the downside. Then we would see the 164 US dollar again, which is exactly the same level here, but I think we have more chances breaking this also to the downside. But first, let's see for the $314 if we even get there. And once we break it to the downside, we can talk about more bearish scenarios. So what about Kaspa? For Kaspa, I don't see any kind of chart pattern which we have developed since the past 2 days. Everything went like we have planned. Here was our target, 8.3 cents, but we have said 8 cents is going to be our first target, overall target, because there was a fair value gap. We still have the chance getting far lower prices, but that would also mean that TAO is also getting to 160 US dollar. That would be another 50% correction. And yes, for Kaspa, it would also mean another 16%, but if we sell off even more, where can we go? If TAO is going to drop 50%, then Kaspa is also going to drop 50%. But I don't have this on the chart at the moment. I still think 6.8 cents we can get there. But I want to take a long position once we break the 8.35 cents to the upside. Then I think we have a good chance getting into 9 cents. This is tradable for me, in my opinion. So we have to see where we are going to go. If we are heading down more without breaking to the upside and fill some more fair value gaps, or if we just break to the upside, correction is maybe done. We have to see it. So let's talk about ONDO. For ONDO, we also went into our take profit area. Don't worry, those red trend lines are not candles. So basically, we have said once the 98.3 cents breaks to the downside, then we should see the 8.5 cents. We went exactly to 8.5 cents right here. So I can take this one out of the chart. This worked. This chart pattern here also worked. So what can I do now? Not much. I can't do much because we are within a falling wedge. This one right here. So we have to break it to the upside. So we take this one out, this one too. So our overall plan was that we have on the bigger chart this falling wedge, which broke to the upside, and we were thinking maybe we get even a second retest of that falling wedge. We don't have to get this one. We already went into the 8.5 cents. This was our first target, and sometimes we just get a reversal into another cycle just by hitting it perfectly. We don't have to sell off to 79 cents. We can start our new cycle from here. That's why I also closed my short position completely, even before we went into 8.5 cents. It's just, it is too choppy for me at the moment. So if we look more in detail, then I don't see some trend line which I want to trade. Why that? Because this wick kind of destroyed it. I can say, okay, I don't count this wick, I ignore it, then I would take this one right here. $92.5 cents. If that breaks to the upside, then I think we can get into the upper part of that falling wedge, which is the price mark of 98.67 cents. But yeah, this wick kind of destroyed it. I was thinking that maybe we can get another chart pattern, but actually I can't see it. I can only see the resistance, which we have at 92.5 cents. If we break to the upside, everything is good. But the real breakout is going to be right here at the falling wedge in orange. If we break it to the upside, then we should see at least the $1.13 again. And once the $1.13 breaks to the upside, then we should see a nice push at least into $1.60 in my opinion. We also have the target of the falling wedge. It's going to be the $1.80 inclusively a fair value gap up to $1.83, I think. No, even 85. So there is a lot of potential for ONDO. We just need to see the setup. We just have to see more resistance breaking to the upside. We even need to see our first resistance breaking to the upside to be in long position. The first long position is always going to be a smaller one. Yeah, I'm not going in with a lot of capital. Just as for risk management, if my entry here works and we break the 98 cents also to the upside, then I can double up or even triple up my position size for this push, can take profits here. But if we are just going to get something like this, then I can increase my position size here again and again. That's how I trade. Sometimes if I'm very short-termed, then I'm just taking a few percentages without leverage and take my profits like that. Sometimes I also get into losses, not a big deal. But once we continuing breaking to the upside without getting a major pullback, and I'm talking about something like we get over 92.5 cents, get our retest long. If we don't get rejected at 98.5 cents, and with rejected I don't mean like a small bounce to the downside and then the push. I'm talking more about we get into that area and sell off from here. If that is not the case, if we really break to the upside, then there are huge trading opportunities for me over a longer time period. This is not just going to take a few hours like some kinds of day trades. If I enter the market at 92.5 cents, then for sure within a few hours we can even be at 98 cents. That's 6%. But what I want to catch this time is a push of at least, let's say, 50%. That's what I want to catch. And if I catch it, And let's assume I just put $100 into the trade, starting from 93 US dollar. Then for sure I can say, okay, I put $100 in, that would be $75 profit without leverage. That's not the case, because I'm going to double up right here. Then I have $200 in my position size. Then I'm going to double up here again. Then I have $400 in my position size. Maybe I double up again. Then I have $800 in my position size. And if we then get this major push, and yes, for sure, those $800 or $1,600, never mind. They won't be in total 73% in profit. But I assume 30% is possible if we always double up and now put leverage on it. So there is a huge trading potential where we can even say if we start with $100, it might be even possible that we go out of the trade with a 5x, 10x on our initial capital. So with that said, I want to tell you that so far I still expect we can get lower prices as long as we don't break to the upside. We have the bullish divergences with almost every coin. We have built bullish chart patterns with almost every coin. We are oversold with almost every coin on the bigger time frame. We already went into our take profits, just the beginning, not into the maximum extension, but we don't always have to get into the maximum extension. That's why we take profits earlier. A bullish reversal can happen very soon. I don't want to promise you that because I don't see it at the moment. We need to see breakouts. Then I can tell you, okay, the chances of getting a bullish reversal is very high. Now the chance of getting a bullish reversal is there because we have bullish signals. So with that said, I want to tell you, I wish you good luck with your trades, maximum profits, and we see each other tomorrow in the next update.